And victims we know now, sadly, are still being damaged and harmed. Some of them are being killed, and they're being killed in actually significant numbers, and I call it murder in slow motion.
There's a lot of work going on, but there's a lot of work still to be done. Stalking is a crime that is veiled in silence, and she was brave and she decided to go on Newsnight and share her story. The most amazing thing that happened in my eyes was that she then received an email from a Metropolitan Police officer telling her that by speaking out, she had actually put other women at risk, which was not only untrue, but it was disturbing and incredibly irresponsible. I think it indicates the mountain that has to be climbed when it comes to understanding this crime.
Her closing statement to the court said, "This is a dangerous man, he will kill someone one day." And lo and behold, 10 years on, I was almost murdered and my children left motherless. My story went in the paper and I was contacted by 13 of the victims of Jason, who had also been to the police, had to move house, were on fast response with the police. This highlights the need for a serial perpetrator register. He should have been on a register to ensure he was tracked and his movements monitored by police. They were aware of him but had no powers to safeguard me and my family, as the laws are not in place and there is a real lack of understanding. He'd been contacting me from prison. I had actually sent 4 texts, to be precise, to his family, asking them to speak to Jason and say, please stop contacting her. I then received a phone call by the police on a Friday night at 9 p.m, which I found alarming after what I'd been through, saying that they wanted to interview me for harassment. Are you being serious? In the context of what happened to me, it's unbelievable. Paladin were amazing. They arranged for a solicitor to come down on a Sunday from up north and support me. I would have gone on my own because I thought it was that ridiculous. But they said, we don't know what could happen in this situation, which is so true, having been through the judiciary myself. It was frightening. And also, it was frightening to the fact that, can you imagine if Sophia's father had got wind of this, he would have used this against me in family court. Now I somehow look like a perpetrator.
6 years ago, my daughter Jane was stalked and murdered by her ex-partner Jonathan Vass. In spite of 9 rapes and 4 assaults, the judge at Burnley Crown Court granted Vass bail with conditions that he did not go near Jane. Bail conditions are absolutely useless. They offer nobody any protection whatsoever. It's like holding a piece of paper up saying you can't come near me now. This will protect you from your knife, from your gun, from your threats of violence. Jane was murdered in the car park of the hospital where she worked. She was an A&E staff nurse. The team who were on desperately tried to save Jane. They didn't know who they were dealing with, even though she was one of their own. It wasn't until somebody went through the bag that she had and they found a staff nurse uniform, and then they found her ID badge, that they realised. It's what Paladin does. It raises awareness and inspires us. Maybe we would have understood what stalking was. Maybe we could have spotted the signs. And maybe Jane would still be with us. I would do anything to prevent another Jane. another Jane going through what my Jane went through. I would do anything to prevent another dad and mum having to go through what we went through.
We are the only service providing advocacy to stalking victims in this country, indeed the only service in the world.
Stalking is about one human being hunting another. It's not a joke. At the start of my training class on Tuesday, 2 police officers made a joke in succession about stalking. Those attitudes, and it's not just about the police, we see it on Twitter, we see people joking all the time about this. This is about hunting humans, the fixation and obsession.
These people need Paladin. We are the voice of the victim at the point of crisis when they're most vulnerable and disempowered.
Paladin really does save lives, we know that. We know that we save people from being damaged and harmed, and we know that our clients really do appreciate what we do. That's a positive and reassuring message.